Emotion up, intelligence down. Now, entrepreneurs .com has shown that the statistics has been seen that 95% of entrepreneurs, they are literally, they think that they're self-aware, and only 5% of them are actually. So in business, how you run the business and the lens through which you make decisions in wealth making of your business, all of that runs around emotions. And if the emotion is high and the intelligence is down, can you imagine what it can cost to your business? Anytime that you make an emotional decision, immediately your intelligence goes down. And as soon as you get onto something like you've seen something really great, and it happens to us business owners a lot, your glands are expanding, you love this idea, this is the best idea that's going to make me a whole great load of money, and this is the best thing for me to get successful, etc., etc. What happens? Automatically you're in a state of mind which is a bit, I would call it euphoric. You're going to make something like a quick, instant gut feeling decision, a dumb decision normally. And believe me, I have been in that state where in my career I have been euphoric, and I have made decisions that have seen my intelligence just go down lower. So really watch what you do with your emotions. And the same thing appears when you are literally taking no thought about doing a logical decisions and just going on doing an emotional one. And I'm not saying that it has to be only logical and no emotion. It has to be a balance. But you want to be sure shot. And that can be really detrimental if and hazardous more than anything else to your business if you're not really aware of that particular situation. Self-awareness is a key thing, and if that's not, it's a big problem for you. Can you imagine what it could cost your business if you take emotional decisions repeatedly? And so we want to be discussing in this video a whole lot of strategies and steps that will really get you setting on the right way of emotional intelligence. I'm Priscilla Khambatta. I'm the founder of Entrepreneurs Sparkplug Hub. It's a community which is meant for giving entrepreneurs a freedom of money and freedom of time. And I'm on a mission to help 100,000 entrepreneurs get their freedom lifestyle through simplistic methods of business through business re-education. So let's get into the tips on emotional intelligence strategies. Now let's take an example of businesses or clients who are usually buying another business. Now and that is where mostly your emotions is very important to be thought about. I have clients who have made buying decision in restaurants or through a trading shop, a chain of trading shops, just through emotions and just through a gut feeling. And it's really sad, what they have to pay on a later stage. And depending on what the broker has said or the seller has presented to them, it's just based on those things. And then going by the gut feelings. Because when you see the beautiful numbers presented by the seller or the broker, you get those dollar signs in your eyeballs, and then you forget about the real thing that's lying beneath those. Then how do you stay away from emotions? What is it that your intelligence doesn't drop down? What do you need to do? In this case, the hot stuff, you really want to have something called the business buying rules. Business buying rules. Now, some of the rules that I go by are, again, these are my rules. They may not be yours. Yours might be different. But I literally go by certain few rules. One of them is I want multiple advisors. For sure, I want multiple advisors around me to concur with me to my ideas if they're right or wrong. And that could be my husband, who really knows me and has good interest for me and my well-being of my business. My accountants, my business friends, I literally take them into confidence and ask. Now remember, all sellers and brokers are damn right liars, that's okay. So you want to be someone who doesn't want to take chances of getting your money stuck, you are not going to get your money back. Therefore, you need to ask critical questions. Why are they selling the business? Why are they selling right now? What's the culture of their organization? What do their clients think of them? These are the questions you really need to critically think. Now, I'm not a person who will advise businesses to buy companies which are really heavy on their balance sheet. I'm not a fan of companies that have too many assets, is what I mean. Like if you're a transport company, you have a whole fleet of trucks or fleet of cars. That's a huge high asset business. Or a manufacturing company which has huge amount of machinery. I prefer to buy companies that are agile, that are lean, and those that are good on cash flow. And more so, also, I like to evaluate the price of business with earnings. What has been the earnings? What are the assets on market approach? Not based on seller and broker's approach. So emotionally intelligent people, I would say, is they always separate their thoughts from the facts. So when you separate your thoughts from the fact, you escape that cycle of negativity. You move towards something that is a positive outlook. And so when you look at any company's reports or annual reports of balance sheet or profitability, there's one question that you really have to ask yourself. How do these numbers affect me? Are these numbers, can I change these numbers? Do I have the resources? Do I have the mindset? Do I have the experience to an extent? What is it that is going to change these numbers? That's what is the real question to ask here. So let's get started on our 10 strategies that you can literally master. And as you incorporate them into your daily routine, you will develop an increased capacity to respond intelligently. And I would say more intelligently than is it'll be effective. Effectively to manage your emotions, and you feel really good that I have taken a well-balanced decision. You're not going to feel that your life is morphed into a fairy tale devoid of obstacles. That's not what you'll feel. If you will instead feel that you're equipped with everything that you need to take that big engine wheel and drive ahead. So here are the 10 things. Let's go with the first one. The first one would be, suggestion is breathe right. Now, when such things come ahead of you, you know what happens? You are breathing absolutely slow, almost not breathing. So your brain doesn't get the oxygen to get calmer and take the right decision. So what you want to do is you want to relax by taking really deep breaths and actually you can put a hand on your stomach and on your sternum to really see where is the breathing going. And you want to get a deep breath of oxygen going straight deep down and exhaling. So deep breath helps you to get relaxed, gets clarity in your mind, and before you get on to that euphoria and the adrenaline rush. The second one is you want to create a list of emotion versus reason list. Okay, when you have a list which says, this is the list, I have enough, this is for emotions, and this is for reasons, then you decide whether you should have which is the best thing. Do you have more reasons on the emotion side or rational side of things that are involved in really taking the right decisions? You've got to be thinking on that aspect. Okay. The third is make your goals public. It's obvious, you've heard this before. If I want to lose weight, I go and tell that to my friends, to my family, and everyone else. So I hit the gym every day at 5 a.m. So make your goals public. That's a huge thing to get your emotional intelligence on a track. Okay, your emotions to be taking the right decision. So make your goals public. The fourth one is sleep on it. When you say sleep on it, I mean to say, like Leo Tolstoy says, the two big warriors in business are time and patience, right? They're warriors that helps you literally to take that thing to be taking you to the finish line. If you let go a day or a week and then literally allow that dust to settle in, you are bound to make better decisions. When you are in that rush, count up to 10. These are simple steps, but yes, you can count to 10. What happens when you count to 10? It disrupts that flow of frustration, the flow of adrenaline, the flow of where you're going to almost take a decision. It disrupts it. Just start saying, or you can start reversing. Not if you 1 to 10, say 10, 9, 8, 7. That's going to disrupt your thinking and calm you down, and it gives you time to really think again. Number 6 is talk to a skilled advisor. I do that with multiple advisors, as I mentioned before. You've got to be really speaking to someone who is skilled, who is experienced, not someone who's a very good friend of yours and is a yes person. Someone who has the knowledge, who has the experience, who is in and out into that business or into that subject matter. That's very important. Chartered accountants are the best to do. I definitely want to go to. Number 7 is control your self-talk. Now here's the thing, when you are emotionally high, you start talking negatively to yourself. And this negative talk potentially damages your ability to literally take the right decisions, to manage yourself well. You are a bad self-manager when you do start with self-talks. And that self-talk, we as human beings are wired to think negatively. Negative thinking comes easily to us. And so you got to be controlling that so that you can then think positively. And the way to do is, I'm not good enough. The only thing is, I'm great, I'm good. Say positive things, go down to affirmations. You can get down to really controlling self-talk when you are down on emotional intelligence. So get down to this everyday 15 minutes of problem solving habit. What happens is when you do something like this, it's whenever you are in that state of emotional ball game, you are prepared, to take proper steps too. It ensures you that your decisions are literally not muddled with your emotions. Your brain is already trained to take the right decision. So always have 15 minutes, get into that habit of the critical thinking, as I call it. And then the ninth one is focus on your achievements versus limitations. That's one thing that is, I would say that, you focus on, like, as if you're standing on acres of land full of diamonds, which are your opportunities. Instead of saying, I don't have this, when I'm taking a decision, I don't have this, and that's why it's best, let me go for this at least I'll get into a better situation. That's not what you have to think. Think of your achievements, what you did before, and use that. Think of the things that you have and use that towards making your decision. And my favorite one is 10th is have a mental recharge. Now this is again a daily thing, and when you get used to doing a mental recharge into your business, into your life on a day-to-day basis, it puts you on a whole different level mindset. What happens is mental recharge is when you are spiritually connected, maybe to your God or to your spiritual leader, and that sort of a thing really brings in all good things inside you. You get to be positive. You really know nothing bad is going to happen to me, and you surrender yourself to that spirituality. That's what is a very big thing for emotional intelligence. And therefore, it's said that emotional intelligence always starts with self-awareness. And if you're looking at all of these 10 critical habits, and I promise you, any of the habits above, if you have implemented them consistently, that's going to save you and your business the wrath of emotional thinking. The wrath of emotional thinking, literally. So think of all these 10 steps and implement them in your day-to-day habits. Thank you for your time, and I really appreciate this. And if you can go ahead and crack it up to your personal well-being, that's great. Now here's the thing, register for my upcoming webinar, which will be based on effective steps on emotional intelligence, which leads to sales, marketing, and team. And that's going to run through simple steps for you to implement and think intelligently. So do register for the upcoming webinar. It's a 90-minute webinar, and I'm going to say, I promise you that it's going to be worth your time. If you've liked this video, hit the like icon and do subscribe for my YouTube channel. Until then, let's meet in the next episode. Thank you and bye-bye.